What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday was a good day for me. Overall, 3-2 day. Overall, my 4% was the Lions, 3% was South Florida, and NBA, I did go 1-2. So those were 2%. So overall, profitable day for me yesterday. Vino, good to be back with you again here. How was yesterday for you? How you doing today?
Doing good today, Skee. Big weekend up ahead. Yesterday was the third profitable day in a row for me. 2-1, encompassing all sports. The good were Cal State Northridge and college hoop. Had a team total there that got over pretty easily. You and I, we could have parlayed our thoughts on the Thursday night football game last night because I had Dallas team total over 24.5, which got up to 30. So that was a winner. The bad was NBA. I got involved in that Philadelphia Golden State game, and you know how that goes. If finals 99-98, there's a good chance I didn't win.
Yeah, I get you. But that football game, man, it was beautiful. They almost thought they were going to give it up at the end, but they did what they had to do. All right, let's get to it. A lot of games on the slate. Don't necessarily have enough time to talk about all of them, so we're gonna talk about maybe some of the ones that stand out to us, and we will start at the top of the card. No shocker that I want to talk about the Lakers and the Celtics. Opened up -7 for Boston. I see 8.5. Total open 223.5. And I see it as high as 226.5. There are 225.5s out there as well. Injury report. And I'm gonna hit refresh because I'm pretty sure LeBron got ruled out. It says LeBron doubtful, but I'm pretty sure he's not playing. Doncic out, Smart out. For Boston, nobody's been ruled out yet. It is the second of a back-to-back for both of these teams, Rob. I agree with the market. This total still went up, even with Doncic and James out. I don't really care about LeBron out there anymore right now. Um, I mean, the defense does get worse with LeBron out there, but we've seen the Lakers without Luca, without LeBron a few times. We've seen them even on back to backs without both of those guys a couple times, and they're still able to score. They're not able to get the most stops. They're able to score. So I like the over in this game. That's what I'm saying when I say I agree with the market here. How you see this one?
Yeah, I'm with you on over. I just isolated it to the Lakers themselves. I thought 109 was a cheap price for the Lakers team total here. I think yesterday when we talked about Boston, Washington, you had mentioned, and maybe I agreed with you, that the Boston defense just isn't a very good defense right now. And now you're going to get it on back-to-back days. Up until last night, Boston had allowed 113 or more in 6 straight games. And here I'm only asking the Lakers to get to 109, and we get no Doncic, no LeBron, but I still don't think that matters. The Lakers got a lot of scoring on that team. And if you're going to combine that with a tired defense that's already a defense that, and again, we'll put it into context. We're going over 109 here, and Boston had allowed that 6 straight games up until last night against the sorry Wizards, who could only get 101. But I think the Lakers, win or lose in this game, I think they can get to 110. So it was a client release. I bet it myself. I like that play quite a bit.
Man, I like it. I think the full game. I think they're going to give up some points. I think they can score. I like the full game over in this one. Got my wallet open here, Rob Veno, searching for some good numbers, but I know we're pressed for time. I won't hope to show up too much, but I like that over. We're gonna get down on that over for sure. Um, Next game up, let's talk a little bit about Heat and Magic. Opened up -5.5, still sitting there. Total went from 240.5 to 241.5. You have Paolo back in the lineup for this Magic team. Still no Mo Wagner. For the Heat, Heroes doubtful. Good old Terry Rozier not gonna make an appearance. I worry about Paolo coming back in the lineup for this Magic team. they were playing solid basketball with him off the court. Now, I always worry when you integrate that high usage player back into the lineup. I couldn't lay in this spot with the Magic. Um, yeah, this is a tough one. Maybe I agree with the total going up. I know Miami wants to play with pace. I know they can play regardless if Hero's in or not. They've been doing it all year long. And Paolo should bring some more points, if anything. Maybe over here, Rob. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there. And to the point of Tyler Hero being absent, when I look at Miami, and I've looked at them a lot this season from a totals perspective, as long as they have one of those guys, a special type of
Oh, man.
and it could be and Orlando probably gets a little bit of edge on the glass here too against Miami. Almost everybody does because Miami's just small and fast. But I thought it would get over. I think my original point was even without Hero, as long as they have Hero or Powell, I'm good with them scoring points. They'll have Norman Powell tonight, I believe. So even if Tyler Hero doesn't play, which it doesn't look like he will, I still think they'll be able to, they'll push pace. And it's interesting, Skee, I think for the first, I don't know, first 15, 16 games, whatever, when Orlando was playing really, really fast and we were wondering, do you really want to continue doing it? And then as recently as, within a week ago, I read that they still want to play fast. It brings me to a high pace game here. Orlando's not going to change that type of philosophy. They want to go. Miami's going to push pace. They've done it against everybody. Orlando's not old men in walkers with tennis balls, but they can get up and down and score too. Desmond Bain's been really, really good as of late fitting into this team. So I think over Miami, the baseline for Miami totals nowadays is 240 anyway. We don't see too much under 240 when they're involved. I think they probably get there tonight. It's a huge game inside that division too. I think maybe one game separates the two of them from first place.
Yeah, it is a big game in that regard. Mario says Heat have slowed down their pace. Casey, not a fan of points in this game. We shall see how it shakes out. Let's move over to Hornets and Raptors. And my bad here. Got to get over to this one. Opened up -8 for Toronto, and it's come down. I see 7.5 pretty much everywhere. Total open 233.5. Looks like 228.5. Injuries for Charlotte. LaMelo is probable. Kalkbrenner, Treyman, Brandon Miller, all questionable. No Colin Sexton, no Connaughton. For Toronto, Abaji and RJ Barrett are out. Jakob Pertl is back in the lineup after missing yesterday. And we'll see if they rule anybody else out throughout the day. It is, like I said, second of a back-to-back for this Raptors team. Fifth game in 7 nights, all that good stuff. They did lose to the Hornets last time they played, so revenge game for them. And the Hornets, they have covered both meetings so far this season. Vino, I'm gonna pass this one to you first. Actually, I'm curious. This Raptors team, fifth game in 7 nights, no RJ Barrett. I mean, that offense, they've looked bad. They've been the worst offense in the league last 5 games. Do you think they should be laying?
No, in fact, I kind of like the rested underdog here a little bit, Ski. Toronto's 0-4-1 against the spread last 5 games. And I guess we should have seen that they would be due for some sort of regression. They were so red hot, like 13-1 straight up, and they were on a really good point spread run at that time, and it's cooled off a little bit. What's interesting is we talked a lot about Jakob Pertl yesterday not being at the rim to defend, probably not there again tonight. When Charlotte beat them this season, Pertl did play. So they've even beaten this team with Pertl. Here we're going to get 7.5. We're rested. They're not. They're kind of on a downslide right now. Charlotte's going to push pace a little bit here. We know that for a fact. So I don't know that they can win the game, Ski. I'm not willing to say go ahead and bet money line, but I just thought 7.5 was too much here. You don't want to bet a team that's not playing well at all. and lay 7.5 on top of that when they're in a back-to-back situation. So for me, all the situational angles favor Charlotte. And then, like I say, when I looked it up and saw Pirtle played the first time and Toronto still lost to this team, I figured maybe the matchup is, just advantageous for Charlotte here. So I'll take Charlotte plus 7.5 in that one.
I'm in agreement with you there. Toronto is 1-3 ATS on back to backs so far this season, and like you said, they're just not playing well enough for me to expect them to get separation like this, especially on a back to back. So Hornets would be the preferred side for me as well. Let's talk a little bit of Jazz and Knicks. This one open minus 15. Looks like 15.5. Total has gone up. 236.5 was the opener, as high as 241.5. But there are some 240.5s, depending on what you like. Make sure you line shop. For Utah, Nurkic is questionable. Niang is out. For New York, no Shamit. But OG is questionable. Color is questionable as well. Um, to start this season, Rob, this Utah Jazz team was 9-day home and road, all overs, um, at home, all unders on the road. I mean, that's changed a little bit lately, and it's just probably, yes, I think they play up tempo. They're top 5 in pace last 5 games, but the defense has just been terrible. Bottom 5 defensive rated team in that same span. Um, so they've gone over in 4 straight road games because of that. The Knicks, they're playing a little bit. They're the opposite. They're playing at the slowest pace in the league last 5 games, and a top 5 defensive rated team. Both teams are top 10 offensive rated teams in the last 5 games. So, which style do you think is going to prevail here? Is going to be New York at home with that slow, grinded out defensive type game, or is it going to be more of a Jazz up tempo, less defense game here, Rob Veno?
Yeah, it came down to a choice between the two. Skee. I really like the Knicks in this game. Utah on the back to back. Yeah, you get to play Brooklyn last night, score your 123. That's all well and good. New York, even though they're slow, they do still score points. Pretty efficient basketball team. The choice came down to, do I want to lay points with New York, 15.5, which I generally don't do, or do I want to play their team total over 128.5 and just fade the bad defense of Utah? But asking the team, not that you can't get to 130 against the Jazz, but seemed a little too high for me. So I chose to lay 15.5 this morning with the Knicks, thinking they could win this game by 20. Utah has not they have shown us the ability to lose by this number quite a few times this year. So when they're good offensively. When they're not good offensively, and maybe they run into a tougher defense here and don't score their points. When they don't score their points, they're not close in games. So for me, it's going to be Knicks minus 15.5. Wouldn't be mad at anybody playing a Knick team total. Full game total for me is a little bit scary because I just don't know what the Jazz would contribute here. I mean, if the Knicks get to 130, the Jazz have to get to 111. I'm not sure they do.
I mean, they've been able to score, this Jazz team. They've been able to score versus everybody. I want to get there with the over in this one, Rob, honestly. The Jazz, yes, they played the Nets last game. They played the Rockets game before that. Were able to come out with an outright win as a double-digit underdog. And a lot of what they're doing right is just sharing the basketball. Back-to-back games, I'm seeing 30-plus assists. I like to see that as far as, expecting good offense. They've scored, 117 plus for their last 5 games. All right, is the Knicks defense better than the Rockets? I mean, are they that much better that the Jazz are just the Rockets did hold the Jazz down one time, actually, 129 to 101. But I don't know, Robino. I think we get points here. The chat saturator reminding us that the Knicks are number 1 against the spread at home, number 30 on the road. That's why we have this humongous point spread here. All right, let's keep going down the list.
Somebody had Knicks built to ass the other night in the comment section, if I remember right. Saying how good they are at home.
All right. Nets bet says he was on Jazz yesterday, and they only won because Nets intentionally tanked the fourth by 22,
That was a
as they
bad
should have.
fourth quarter, boy.
I mean, you can call it that, or you can call it the Nets ran out of gas on a back to back, and the Jazz are coming off 2 days rest. I mean, that's where that stuff comes into play, right? All right, the next game, and I think the last game in the NBA we'll probably talk about today is going to be the Mavericks and the Thunder. This one open -15, hasn't really moved. Total open 225 and a half. I think consensus now is 228 and a half, 229 maybe. Um, Injuries. Let's go take a look there. For OKC, Hardenstein, Dort, Caruso out. Isaiah Joe was downgraded to questionable. For the Mavs, PJ's questionable, Gafford's questionable, Lively's out. Um, I like I like this game over, Rob Veno. Um, I'm gonna check the numbers, but I feel like the Mavs have been playing faster. And also I just like that they actually have competent point guard play now. So let me just glance here. Last five for them, just to make sure. Last five, they're actually 11th in pace, which is all right. Thunder 6th in pace, but yeah, they got competent point guard play, and that just makes the offense a hell of a lot better. For this Thunder team, we know they'll play up tempo. They're usually a good defensive team. They're missing a lot of that defense tonight. Dort, Caruso, Hardenstein. I don't like that Joe has been downgraded because that's one of the shooters for them. But I think this game will be played up tempo, and I like over the total here, Ravino. How do you see this one?
Skee, I would comp it to the game that OKC played the other night, and I got involved in with OKC team total over against Golden State, right? Golden State was missing some pieces. Oklahoma State was missing that same defensive trio. No Hartenstein, no Dort, no Caruso. And it doesn't really matter offensively to them, but it does matter defensively because the Warriors without Steph still scored 112 on them the other day. And OKC put up 124. Dallas, to me, I know you said Gafford is only questionable, but no Lively, potentially no Gafford, only AD really means little rim protection for Dallas in stretches of this game. OKC likes to attack the rim. One of the Nembhards, the famous Nembhard guard family, doing the job now for Dallas at the point, and they've scored their last four games. I think I saw 119, 130,
Hmm.
enough to get this one over. And that's half the reason why you'd like to play over here is that the number is just appealing. 229 is not a large number this season for teams to climb over. So to me, I compared it to the Golden State game the other day that Oklahoma City played. That game got to 236. I think Dallas is very much in the same boat as Golden State is as far as offense and defense are concerned with the lineup Dallas will throw out there. So I can see it getting to 230 here. It's Oklahoma City's. It was only a 2-game road swing, and then they went home. So I don't know that we're going to hold that against them. And they score on everybody anyway. So for me, I'd be with you here over 229, 229, and no, not even a half. Just playing 229. I would play it over.
We're in agreement on that, and yeah. Uh, D Hugh saying, let's not act like the Mavs didn't find the spark. He likes some plus the points. Can't argue it. I don't like to bet against OKC anymore right now. But they definitely have found a spark and have been playing well enough to cover 15 and a half points. Can't deny that. All right. Let's see, Ravino. I mean, I don't think we're gonna get to too much, but there's one game. Actually, no, that's Monday. We can talk about that on Monday.
Let's
NFL just
do.
not really appealing to me this week. I don't know. Do you think this is a good week? Like, is it appealing to you at all?
I found a couple, but I will admit, Ski, that I didn't dig real deep as of yet. The two, I'll just go out there and give you the two that I found that I think I'll end up playing here real quick. I'm going to play the Commanders. I think with Jaden Daniels back And what the Commanders showed me against the Broncos in that Monday night game is that they haven't quit on the season. They're going nowhere, but they played hard against Denver, forced that game to overtime. They go for the 2-point conversion to try to win the game, but it ends up 27-26. Denver's defense, for all its accolades, was pretty much sliced up by Marcus Mariota and that quick passing game of Washington. It was a really good game plan that they had. Minnesota's offense is just an entire mess. You see Justin Jefferson slamming his helmet because not any of their three quarterbacks can get him the ball. To me, they're the opposite of what I saw in Washington Monday night. Washington still wants to play. They'll get their starting quarterback back. It makes a difference. Minnesota offensively looks like they're just done with what's been going on there. So I like that side. If I push down the card a little bit, I had a check mark next to the Cincinnati Buffalo over game, but I don't think that would surprise anybody. I've been fading Cincinnati's defense all season long, and now with Joe Burrow back and Buffalo having the defensive problems they've had this year, I think that game just gets into a little bit of a score fest. You need something in the vicinity of 31-24 to get yourself there in that game. I think those two can do it. And in an underdog, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I'm not so sure. But Houston with more than a field goal against Kansas City, I kind of like the underdog here. Houston's defense is so good. And Kansas City's offense, as much as I thought it was going to take off and be really, really good once everybody was healthy, it hasn't done that. Houston was here last year for the playoff game and played KC really tough. Kansas City grinded out a victory in that game. But I see CJ Stroud and the offense getting better each and every week. I know the pass protection was an absolute horror show early on for Houston, but it seems like they're making more plays in the passing game right now. I think they can stay within a field goal of Kansas City. KC just not exactly separating from teams the way I thought they would be at this point.
The only other game I'll mention, Green Bay and Chicago, that stands out to me. Chicago has won 5 games in a row, and they are plus 6.5. In general, when I think about those teams, like I wasn't a believer in anything Chicago has been doing, and then they beat the Eagles, and I'm like, is Chicago good? Or like I don't know. But this point spread is telling me that I shouldn't believe. I was right to not believe everything I was seeing, and that they're going to get blown out in this game. So I'm gonna try to find reasons to back the Packers. I also want to try to find reasons to fade the Bucks, but like Rob Veno said earlier, I'm a little slow to get into NFL this week, so I need to do some more research. On that note, we'll move it on over. Or before we do this best bet, actually, let's see if we could toss some of this stuff up here. We do have Weekend Warrior, right? So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday Night Football, college football, NFL, all releases, including 5%, you can get for $49. If you want to take a look at the hardwood, you can get a full court all access pass, 3 days of college basketball and NBA for only $49. And if you want to go longer, you can get $500 off a 1-year pass. Comes out to just $125 a month. And if you were to go get Rob Veno for a year, you can come back with a 25% bonus coupon, and you can use that on something for myself. So with that said, Veno, I will also ask you if there's anything else you like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's all good.
I think you got promotions covered pretty good for the weekend, Skee. So, guys, if you want to take a shot, selection package is up and available. One more time, I will say this: NFL. I believe I'm number 2 among Wager Talk handicappers. It's been a great NFL season, up over 40 units for the year. So, again, wagertalk.com for all those specials. Skee, I've made 3 bets, and I have a choice here to make which one I want to leave as the best bet here. I like them all, but I'll go right back to the top of the card. I just thought the Lakers team total was priced too low at 109, considering the way the Boston defense has been playing and considering the fact that Boston's on back-to-back nights here. So for me, LA, this game may turn out to be all offense on both sides, kind of the way Lakers Toronto was. I could see that happening again. So give me Lakers over 109 as best bet for the show.
And you know what? We've done well when we do, kind of a double up. So I'm going to, you know, I said I was opening up my wallet earlier. Let's do it. 225 and a half is the best number I see. I think it's an offensive game as well. Might not even be the fastest pace, but I think there's a lot of buckets to be had. Not so much defense from either side in this game. Over 225 and a half, Lakers and Celtics will be my best bet for the show. And also, Rob said he's number 2 in the NFL. I am number 2 in college basketball so far, 15-5 to start the year. So we'll try to keep that going. And I will have a good play for tomorrow. If you know, you know. Maybe more than one good play, but if you know, you know. All right. Vino, always appreciate you taking the time to come break these games down with me. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you pulling up. Hit the like button for us. It helps us out. If you want to subscribe so you know when we're live, that's good too. And just enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you guys again on Monday.